Hello. Ciao. Hola. My name is TP, and welcome back to RIMWORLD. In the last video, the people of I just spilled my Pepsi Max, was settling nicely into it's literally everywhere. We were thrown some obstacles, but thankfully, none of them posed too much of an issue against our brave tactical and CQC warfare. In fact, the biggest issues came internally, not you. Particularly my smooth brain not getting a constant supply of food online, be that not getting enough raw food planted, or expanding quickly enough into preservatives like pemmican and meat racks for jerky. We also had a problem in the form of research moving slower than your granddad's acceptance to modern day society.
Look at my dog, he's as black as can be.
But alas, that is a problem for the future. So let me guide you as we trek once more into the endless abyss. Colonist number 5 began his journey off the RIMWORLD way by going on a binge of one of those things you tell your parents you would never touch. But I know the truth. Dirty little lo- We tried saving a lockjaw that had also crashed out of the sky. Seriously, someone needs to have a chat with the manufacturers of these Chinese sweatshop wish-grade cargo pods. But since I was able to build an appropriate medical area and haul the animal to the base, it seemed like Lady Luck had graced us with— It died and was butchered before I was able to oversee some berry collection. Gotta love the efficiency of hungry colonists though. I furthered the food growth by finally extending out the rice field and allowing Camel to continue satiating his bloodlust for meat, and moved the food storage north of the kitchen and dining room. Defenses were next on the priority list, but of course, our colony had the same intelligence as a high-profile person going to a party during a global pandemic.
And when I went into that garden just after 6 on the
So all we could build were very rustic barricades. Whilst giving our best attempt at floor carpentry, some of the colonists noticed a couple of camps in the vicinity, and that one to the north was looking particularly close, almost impeding on our queen's country. And yeah, that's right, I said queen and not king. That's my forever monarch right there. She would have certainly been invited to Goose and Lion's wedding, which had only just been announced. Oh my god, we were researching. To celebrate, we shared some medicine with people in need. I'm sure there's some connection and much less lazy me could come up with. The Harmony event was upon us, so we danced. Oh baby, we danced. We danced ourselves into a beautiful rating. In fact, I think we danced so hard, we caused unnatural occurrences in the sky above us. It was not raining men, but rather showering meteorites, particularly steel and silver.
Over here, stranger. Got something that might interest you. What are you buying? Is that what are you selling? Thank you.
Unfortunately, that was followed by an ancient ship piece of fungal origins.
Shit, it's fucking kicked in 1 hour ago.
And the fear of the unknown took over slightly. So akin to a politician listening to the issues of lower classes.
What do you have? Do you work in a business? Do you want some fruit?
I'm homeless.
I pretended it didn't exist until the problem became big enough to no longer ignore. Randy must be a fan of the colour blue, since his response to hearing the previous analogy was that of violence. To begin, a feralist decided that the pregnant goose would make for hearty grub. A 2-for-1 Tesco meal deal that any oversized spider would be stupid not to take up. Kind of like you, the person right there who hasn't liked the video yet. I perhaps again went slightly overboard on the preparation of killing our 8-legged foe. However, this proved beneficial since Randy was not yet done. A small pack of wolfmen came across our growing colony. They either came looking for that pigman we fought last episode, or some of our colonists are washing with barbecue sauce or something, because these invaders certainly aren't coming for our food supply. I allowed the colonists to prepare, since our enemies were doing the same. I gave the colonists a final call to fill any needs they may have. Then a couple of hours later, it began. The wolfmen dove headfirst into the colony, meaning we only had one area of concern to focus on. The colonists approached their defenses, weapons held high. The wolfmen clearly were not prepared for our ranged prowess, since the forward wolfman had to retreat initially and wait for another member of their pack to take point. The second got close, but only close enough to smell whatever stank breath it was producing. After witnessing 2 of his packmates being transfigured into porcupines, The final wolfman desperately turned tail and ran for the hills. We could not, however, leave him without one or two things to remember us by. Even better was the fact that the second wolfman had managed to cling on to life, and instead of execution, we decided to one-up Randy and bring the wolfman into custody. We nurtured the beast back to health in the hopes of eventually lecturing him enough about the ideology and benefits of the Empire that he decided to take up arms in our name too. Doesn't get more whiter than that, really. Goose was now getting really big, so baby preparations were required in the form of a simple spot designated to drop the baby or something, I assume. But Randy rudely interrupted any further plans by forming some unholy alliance with that damned monolith. The ground near our foundations opened up, allowing an eldritch pink nutsack into our world. Our colonists were now battle-hardened though, so dealing with a single beast... Of course, what did I expect? More nutsacks had burst out of the initial beast, in a way that looked like Brazzers had made an attempt at an alien film, and although it posed a slight surprise, only minor injuries were taken from the battle. Sam was able to cover the crack in the earth, which seemed to have brought an end to that specific issue. At least the fungal ship wasn't too, yeah, that's fine, I'm sure. I continued to ignore the ever-looming presence of fungal expansion, and instead expanded out the Muffalo pen, accepted a nudist into the colony, denied his desire to be a nudist, and assigned him to crafting, allowing our soon-to-be thriving colony to survive for another day.